question. Dear Noah, I have a question about compatibility in relationships. Is this something that should be considered when entering into something, or can incompatibility be transcended? Because we are always changing, is love enough? How do we really know if we are in love romantically when feelings can be so fleeting? Thank you. Love is as personal as it gets. And the human mind is as diverse as the universe itself. It's said that we are made in the image of God. And God is the totality of the universe and that which transcends it. Like the beauty of a rose is more than the sum total of the parts of the rose. So we, as a microcosm of God, are the empty space in which phenomena arise and the multiplicity dancing in that single space. As such, everyone is completely unique, and everyone is moving according to the law of their own karma, their own individual uprisings, as it were. And when it comes to something like love, you have to feel it out yourself. Most particularly. All teachings are pointers in which you yourself have to discover their truth. And this is one of the problems that comes with freedom, is responsibility. And with responsibility comes anguish that we may make the wrong decision. That's why arranged marriages work really well, because your responsibility and is taken out of it. It's just that's what's happening. That's why prisoners become attracted to their cell and their prison, because they no longer have to make life decisions that could go wrong or right. And something relaxes in the mind and it feels secure. Or like being in the army, or being told what to do about your health. As long as someone else tells you, there's a certain relaxation in it. But it's a false relaxation, so underneath is always a constant anxiety. And so the real anxiety and anguish is when we're faced with our own personal choices and responsibility, and we have to live or die by them. That's the most important thing. And then we can look at elements of consciousness that you may relate to in a particular moment of your life. You're not going to relate to what I say here the same way as when you're 40. So again, you have to take responsibility for the phase of your practice when you hear any teaching or any pointing. Because if you follow the pointing, the person who observed it in the first place will have changed, which is the purpose of the pointing. So if you retroactively go back and criticize a pointing, then you never understood it in the first place. You approached it in a wrong way. Because it's always about personal responsibility. If you're not taking personal responsibility, you're not yet ready for the path. So you've not yet discovered, say, Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga only happens when you've absorbed and can practice personal responsibility. If you take your parental issues onto another person and expect them to give you answers and call that Guru Yoga, you're insane. And then to criticize a teaching or a pointing because you are insane is a double insanity, in which people can get caught in a perpetual wheel of criticism because they don't understand their own mind when they first entered into trying to sort themselves out. They actually think someone can sort themselves out for them. Not even Buddha could do that. Not even God can do that. So that's the most important background going into such a question. So then it depends on you, how compatible you want your partner to be. There's, of course, different levels of compatibility. Physically, whether you find that person sexually attractive or not. You know, we have grown up in a culture where we're not meant, where it's considered shallow to like someone for their looks. But sexual attraction is bound by looks. That doesn't change the fact that you may love someone's soul. And again, it's a different level of love. For example, we can love our teachers. Doesn't mean we find them sexually attractive. And that then, if you want to have someone who you find sexually attractive, someone who you like their personality, someone who makes you laugh, someone who you can chat with and gossip, someone who you can talk spirituality with, if you want all of them to come together, good luck. You know, let the rest of us know the secret. Otherwise, you just know what love is. And if you feel you're in the place to be with that person, then be with them. But they're going to have things that you won't like. Yeah. If it's just a singularity in which everything was a perfect mirror outside of your inside, outside yourself, then you're just in love with yourself. A lot of people are in love with themselves. Yeah, a lot of celibate types. They're just in love with themselves. Just like to make love to themselves with their own mind or their own systems of thought. Yeah, no challenge comes. They're just in love with themselves. Yeah, as soon as a teacher says something they don't like, they'll just dismiss it because they know already everything. Yeah, that's real masturbatory kind of stage of consciousness, which can come out in terms of how we try to find our partner, in which we can try and mold them into our image of what is considered right and what makes us feel easy all the time. So we get our own way and feel comfortable all the time. If that's what you want, great. But generally you're with another human being, and if you want to love them, you have to love the unknown. You have to love the differences. in fact, the more we grow, the more we want to be challenged. So transcendence, from one point of view, can be called acceptance. When you fully accept the differences, then what's the problem? So the very concept of the idea of incompatibility is no longer relevant. So we can call that transcendence. Basically, we're seeing through the immature mind, which is wanting everything to revolve around our egocentric center, into loving the differences. Of course, we can go deeper and realize that those differences are actually the self, the real self, not the projected ego self. Because we are always changing, is love enough? Love is the continuum in which observes all changes. And the more you love, the more they change, the more you love them. But if you have using the concept that everything's changing, but you're actually holding on to a permanent sense of this is what I like and this is what I don't like, then that's a distorted version of what we mean by change. It depends on you. Are you constantly waking up every morning and feel that you're a new being? And if so, then the person that you're with is going to appear to you as a new being. Or do they appear to you as, I'm bored of this person? If you feel, I'm bored of this person, then you're relating to them as a permanent phenomenon. Because you can't get bored of something that's changed, right? Love is always enough. Then you need the honesty to understand if you have love. If you don't have love, then of course that's different. And how do we really know if we are in love romantically when feelings can be so fleeting? Yeah, romantic love is fleeting. In our relationship, romantic love changes into a deeper love. Yeah, if you're in a relationship, those sexual feelings die down. And if you're in a long relationship, that love is more of a friendship, and friendship love is eternal. But if you're just after sexual love, that's what I think we mean by romantic love, sexual love. Of course, that's going to change. And we want to seek maybe that sexual love elsewhere when we get the thrill of the new. Because the sexual love is bound by the body. And say if we have the concept that that's superficial, we may try and deny that that's where we're at. But most people are there. Or most people, everyone is all dimensions, but with the pathological psychopaths who stoke desire for us to buy products and to despise our own bodies, then our attention goes there a lot, doesn't it? So every part of our body we're trying to change according to some desire that these pathological psychopaths have installed in us over the last century and a half. And so we can have a conflict there between wanting to be with someone at the soul level, the mind level, and this need to be seen to be attractive according to an image created by these psychopaths. So this is why we meditate. This is why we practice. It's because we know that we need to be able to see through that. And we know that at a certain level it holds us. And whilst it holds us, our relationships will be unstable. At the best of times, we'll still be challenged by the sexual pull of other people and maintain our monogamous relationship. Some of you may be polygamous, if that's the right way to say that word. But usually even within polygamy, you have moral boundaries of when, where, who, what. So some people may want to work on the polygamous paradigm to help overcome that problem, that they want to be with someone on a soul level and they know they need to engage in different relationships to overcome that sexual desire. And some people are naturally monogamous, so they would leave their partner to find someone else. Because being with one person just doesn't satisfy. And we're in the culture of where the psychopaths are trying to make people addicted to constant stimulation. So there's like an angst and an anxiety when you're just in one situation at one time that something else is going to be somewhere better elsewhere. And the psychopaths are making that stronger and stronger. You know, if we had a wise culture, mobile phones would be banned, except for certain situations. Or you could have a mobile phone, but you could only use them to talk like we're talking now. And all this stuff like the overstimulation be banned, because we know that it's bad for us. But they're not interested in our health. If health was their interest, it would be banned. It's as simple as that. So, you have to trust the feelings that you're feeling. You have to be aware that they are momentary and you can go deeper into life, but you're only going to go deeper into life by honouring and accepting how you're perceiving things at the moment. And as you develop your own wisdom, when those feelings come up that you know are going to take you down the wrong road, you'll know it through experience and through the knowledge of the Dharma and through the connection with the teacher and the community. Not just one isolated thing. Sometimes when we know that there's something wrong, just remembering the Dharma can stop us doing it. But most of the time we know what we need to live through and grow through and develop wisdom that way. So we need to be honest. You need to look at the motivations of why you're doing things. Just have humility to know the level that you're at and what you need. Be honest if you have a partner, to be with your partner about what you feel. And know that whichever decision you make, it's going to bring its own difficulties with it. There's no escaping difficulties in samsara. If you stay with your partner, then you have to face the difficulties of this impulsive desires that we have. And if you leave your partner to follow impulsive desires, you'll have to face the difficulty of what you could have had. So you need to be very kind with yourself, very honest with yourself. There's no wrong or right answer. Relationships are the true Zen koan. No one's ever figured out relationships in the history of humanity. We all remain a mystery to each other. And so you can only know your heart by listening to your heart. And following it with the best intention that you can, knowing that your wisdom eyes can only see so far, then engaging and with as much honor for yourself and for your partners as possible. And only you can know if you're moving from love or you're moving from sexual desire. And the two are completely entwined for us. And as they untwine, then you have to see where that lands for you. So I hope this helps in some way. And may God bless you in your decisions and your journey.